Hello there, and welcome to Deep Sleep Science. I'm so glad you found your way here. Tonight, you've arrived at a quiet place, a soft hollow in the long evening where the world thins like steam above a warm cup, and the hours unspool gently, like silk falling through still water. Settle in now. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw release. Allow your hands to rest, palms open, like petals that have finished their long day of opening toward the sun. Breathe in slowly and breathe out even more slowly. Feel the room around you grow rounder, softer, dimmer, as if a great velvet curtain is being drawn across the windows of your mind. Tonight, we'll wander together through one of the most beautiful mysteries within you, the quiet, ever-shifting landscape of neuroplasticity. The gentle truth that your brain, even now, is shaping itself like a slow river carving stone, weaving new pathways while you rest, blooming with delicate connections that grow like vines along an old garden wall. There is something tender about this, something deeply reassuring. You are not finished. You are still becoming. Even now, even here, even as you breathe. If you find comfort in these slow journeys, you might gently tap the like button or softly subscribe to Deep Sleep Science so we can keep these long, peaceful nights flowing toward you, one starlit chapter at a time. There's no rush. No need to do it now. Only when it feels right, as natural as a yawn drifting through a dim room. So let your eyes grow heavy. Let your thoughts uncurl like slow smoke. Let the corners of the world soften into mist, and let your body sink, gently, into the warm hush of where you lie. Together, we'll drift through 100 soft and lovely truths. So let's begin this slow and soothing journey. Imagine your mind as a vast, moonlit meadow softly glowing beneath a velvet sky. Every thought you've ever had has left a faint silver path through the grass. Some trails are wide and well-worn, glimmering like rivers of starlight. Others are barely visible, waiting tenderly to be walked again. Tonight, we'll wander these gentle paths together. We'll watch how new ones bloom, slow as moonflowers opening in the dark. So breathe softly, let the meadow widen around you, and we'll begin. One quiet fact at a time, drifting like feathers on a warm summer breeze. Deep within you, beneath the soft hush of breath and the slow tide of your heart, lies a quiet country called the brain. Picture it as a great moonlit forest, alive with countless tiny lanterns flickering on long, slender branches. Each lantern is a neuron, a small living star connected to thousands of others by silver threads finer than spider silk. When you learn something, even something as gentle as the scent of warm bread, a few new threads are spun in the dark, weaving softly between the lanterns. This is neuroplasticity. The forest is never finished growing. It rearranges itself like a slow, secret dance, even while you sleep, even while you dream. So rest now and trust that within you, those tender silver threads are still being woven, gently, lovingly, in the hush of the long, quiet night. Long ago, scientists believed the brain hardened like clay left in the sun, that once you reached a certain age, no new shapes could be pressed into it. But the truth, dear listener, is far softer, far kinder. Your brain is more like warm wax in candlelight, or perhaps a slow, gentle river, always carving new bends through the meadow of itself. Every memory you keep, every word you whisper, every melody you hum, leaves a faint imprint in this living wax. Nothing is ever truly fixed, nothing is ever truly lost. The shape of who you are is being reshaped, ever so gently, even as you breathe out the day. So let the old idea drift away like a leaf upon dark water, and welcome the soothing truth that you are forever soft, forever forming, forever becoming yourself again, beneath the slow stars of sleep. The word neuroplasticity sounds technical, but listen to how softly it can be spoken. Neuroplasticity. Two slow syllables, like two breaths drawn beneath a moonlit window. Neuro means nerve, the fine threads of feeling within you. Plasticity comes from the Greek word plastikos, meaning to mold, to shape gently with patient hands, the way a potter shapes warm clay upon a slow spinning wheel. Together they describe a most tender truth, that your inner world is shaped day after day by the gentlest things, a kind word remembered, a song half heard through a window, the warmth of sunlight on your closed eyes. Each of these small touches presses a soft fingerprint into the clay of your becoming. So tonight, as you rest, imagine those patient hands smoothing the day's clay, leaving you softer, rounder, more peaceful than before, ready for the long, slow blue of sleep. Within your mind, there are roughly 86 billion neurons, each one humming with quiet electricity, each one a tiny lantern in the great forest of you. If you were to lay them end to end, the silver thread of them would stretch farther than the moon, farther than the sun, into the soft black velvet between the stars. And yet all of them rest gently inside you, snug as folded wings, warmer than any nest. Each lantern reaches out to thousands of others, sending soft pulses of light, slower than fireflies in summer dusk. When you remember the taste of honey, a few of these lanterns flicker together. When you imagine the sea, a different constellation glows. There is a whole sky inside you, dear listener, an entire galaxy beneath your pillow tonight, slowly turning, slowly dimming, slowly drifting toward the warm, hushed dark of sleep. The places where neurons meet are called synapses, and they are perhaps the gentlest kingdoms in all your body. Imagine two delicate hands reaching toward each other in the dim glow of an evening room, fingertips not quite touching, with only a whisper of space between them. Across that whisper, tiny messengers leap like petals carried on a soft breath, drifting from one hand to the other. These messengers are called neurotransmitters, soft little couriers of feeling. Some of them carry calm, others carry warmth, others carry the slow, golden hush of sleep. Right now, as you rest, gentle messengers are crossing those small spaces inside you, carrying lullabies from one lantern to the next. Each soft handoff helps your thoughts grow quieter, your breath grow slower, your body sink more deeply into the warm cradle of the bed beneath you. In the ancient world, philosophers imagined the mind as a wax tablet, smooth and clean at birth, slowly engraved by life. They were not entirely wrong, only a little gentler than they realized. Your mind is not engraved by sharp tools, but kissed by the soft press of every quiet experience. The first lullaby you ever heard left a tender curve. The smell of rain on warm earth left another. A hand held in childhood, the rustle of autumn leaves, the slow turning of pages in a favorite book, each one pressed a soft impression into the wax of you. Tonight, the day's small moments are settling into that warm wax, the texture of a blanket, a sip of tea, a half-remembered cloud. None of it is lost. All of it is held softly, gently, deep in the patient, glowing tablet of your sleeping mind. There is a beautiful old saying in the science of the brain: neurons that fire together, wire together. Imagine a slow summer evening where a few fireflies begin to blink in time with one another above a quiet pond. At first, their lights are scattered, soft and shy, but as they pulse together again and again, faint silver threads seem to grow between them until they shine as one gentle constellation. So it is within you. When two thoughts visit each other often, a soft thread grows. The smell of cinnamon and the warmth of a kitchen, the hush of rain and the comfort of a chair, these pairs glow together, forever bound by the slow, kind weaving of habit. Tonight, as you breathe, allow only the softest pairings to glow: warmth and rest, quiet and breath, pillow and peace, slowly humming together in you. Picture a forest path that has been walked many times. Moss has been pressed down. Stones have been gently nudged aside. The trees have leaned just so, learning the shape of those who pass. This is what a well-used neural pathway is like, a soft groove worn into the inner woodland of you. Each time you ride a bicycle, each time you butter a piece of warm bread, each time you whisper a familiar prayer or hum an old lullaby, you walk that path again, and the forest welcomes you a little more easily. The leaves part, The light dapples through. The way grows more known, more loved. So tonight, dear listener, let the well-loved paths inside you glow softly. The path of your own breath, the path of your own resting, the path that leads you gently towards sleep. Now picture a path less often taken, half hidden by ferns and slow-growing vines. This is a new pathway, a fresh thought, a recent skill, a feeling only just learned. It is shy at first, easily lost in the underbrush. But each time you return to it, the ferns part a little more kindly. The vines lift like soft green curtains. The path becomes truer to itself. This is how learning grows in you. Not all at once, but with patient returning, the way a deer comes back to a quiet meadow each evening. Whatever you are gently learning these days, whatever soft new way of being you are tending, trust that the path is forming. Even now, in the hush of your rest, ferns inside you are leaning aside, making room for the next quiet step you will one day take. There is a gentle word in this science called myelin, and it sounds nearly as soft as it is. Myelin is a creamy, pearly sheath that wraps around the long arms of neurons, like soft wool wrapped around old wires on a winter night. It helps the messages within you travel more smoothly, more swiftly, with less of a chill. When you practice something with quiet patience, your body slowly wraps more of this gentle wool around the right pathways until they hum like well-warmed lamps in a hushed cottage. Musicians grow soft sheaths around the paths of their fingers. Storytellers grow them around the paths of their words. Tonight, as you rest, your body is tucking pearly wool around the paths most dear to you, swaddling them like a child held close, keeping them warm against the long blue cold of night. Long ago, in the soft hush of childhood, your brain was an extraordinarily wide meadow, blooming with more flowers than it could ever keep. Trillions of small connections opened all at once, like a field of white poppies under a pale sky. Then, gently, life became a slow gardener. It walked among the blossoms, kneeling here, kneeling there, choosing which to keep and which to let return softly to the earth. This gentle tending is called synaptic pruning, and it is not a loss but a kind of love. The garden becomes more itself, more fragrant, more clear. Tonight, the gardener within you is still at work, lifting only the smallest, most worn-out blooms, leaving the meadow tidier, more peaceful by morning. So rest deeply and trust the gardener. They know exactly which flowers your soul wishes to keep. Imagine your brain as an old, beloved house with many rooms. Some rooms are bright and well used, with worn wooden floors and the soft creak of familiar steps. Others are quieter, dim, with sheets draped softly over the furniture. Yet none of these rooms are ever truly closed. At any moment, you may push open a door, light a single candle, and find that the room remembers you. This is the great kindness of plasticity. It means no part of you is ever truly forgotten. The piano you once played as a child, the language you learned long ago, the laughter of a friend from a sunlit summer each waits in its own quiet room, dust drifting softly through a single golden beam of late afternoon light, ready to glow again whenever you wander, gently and unhurried, back inside the warm, candlelit halls of yourself. The brain learns most beautifully when it is unhurried. Picture a tea steeping in a warm porcelain cup. Pour the boiling water over the leaves, and at first, only a faint ribbon of color drifts through the clear water. Wait a moment longer, breathe slowly, and the color blooms outward, gold and amber, deep and full. Hurry the tea, and you taste only its surface. Let it rest, and you taste its soul. So it is with learning. Each soft fact, each gentle skill, each quiet truth needs time to bloom inside you, slowly steeping into the warm water of your mind. Sleep itself is one of these long, patient steepings. Tonight, every gentle thing you learn today is spreading its soft color through you, deepening, mellowing, becoming part of your taste of the world. There is nothing to do but rest and let it bloom. Inside your sleeping mind, there is a small, C-shaped place called the hippocampus. named long ago for the curving body of a seahorse, and like a seahorse drifting through deep, calm water, it moves with a slow, gentle rhythm, gathering memories the way the tide gathers shells along a quiet shore. By day, it cradles each new shell carefully, keeping them safe in its curled, watchful tail. By night, when you rest, it carries those shells deeper into the wide ocean of your long memory, placing them on softer, more permanent sands. So while you sleep, a tiny seahorse swims through the warm dark within you, lantern-eyed, peaceful, tireless, tucking the day's small treasures into their resting places. You need do nothing at all. The seahorse already knows the way home, by the silver light beneath the waves. In the slow weather of sleep, your brain enters tides of activity called sleep waves. Some waves are long and slow, deep as ocean swells beneath a midnight ship. Others are quick, shimmering, like silver ripples across a still lake. During the long, slow waves, your mind tidies the shoreline of itself, gathering scattered shells of thought, smoothing the sand of memory. During the swifter ripples, your dreams arrive, soft and luminous like fish moving beneath moonlight. All of these tides are part of plasticity. With each wave, the inner shore of you is reshaped a little, softened, refined, made more truly your own. So as you breathe out the day, imagine yourself lying along the warm sand of an inward beach, the slow tide of sleep drawing closer, washing gently over your feet, your hands, your heart, until everything is quiet and held. Have you ever noticed how a quiet walk can untangle a worried mind? Beneath the surface, something tender is happening. With every gentle step, your heart sends warm rivers of blood up to the brain. Within those rivers travels a soft messenger called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a long name for a tender thing. It acts like fertilizer for the small inner garden of your neurons, helping new connections sprout like green shoots after rain. Walking by trees, walking by water, walking even slowly across a quiet room, all of these can call this gentle gardener forth. Tonight your body has done enough walking. Now your breath itself becomes a soft inner walk. Each inhale a step forward, each exhale a step into the meadow of rest, where the green shoots of you continue, in the most peaceful way, to grow. There is a slow, ancient music inside your brain, called brainwaves. They are not sound but rhythm, like the soft swaying of seaweed in a deep, warm current. When you are wide awake and bright, your waves are quick, like sparrows. When you are gently focused, like a reader by a window, they slow into the rhythm of a calm river. As you drift towards sleep, they slow further still, into long, soft swells, like whales singing far below the surface of a moonlit sea. And in the deepest sleep, they become great gentle hills of rhythm, rolling slowly, slowly, beneath everything. Right now, listener, your inner sparrows are folding their wings, your inner river is slowing. Your inner whales are beginning to sing their long, low lullaby beneath the silver waves of you, carrying you toward the warmest, softest dark. In the soft kingdom of dreams, your brain practices being itself. Imagine a small child playing quietly in a garden, picking up a wooden spoon to be a wand, a ribbon to be a river, a leaf to be a boat. So your sleeping mind plays gently with the day's small pieces, turning a remembered word into a faraway road, a sip of tea into a sunlit meadow, the brush of a sleeve into the wing of a bird. In this play, new connections are tried on like little costumes, some kept, some folded softly away. Every dream, even the ones you do not remember, is part of this kind, inner rehearsal. So as you drift, allow the small child of your mind to play. There is nothing to direct, only soft toys of memory in the grass and a long, gentle afternoon of dreaming. It is a sweet truth that your brain takes shape from the company it keeps. The voices you hear most often, the faces you see, the rooms you sit in, the songs that play in the background of your days, all leave tender brushstrokes upon you. A kind voice softens your inner walls. A patient face smooths your inner stones. A quiet song settles like dust, gilded by lamplight upon the shelves of your mind. This is plasticity in its slow, social form, the way we shape one another simply by being near. Tonight, perhaps, my voice is one such soft brushstroke. A patient, low note, telling the inner rooms of you that they are safe, that they are held, that they may now turn down their lamps. Let this gentle stroke fall wherever it lands. And rest, dear listener, rest. Your sense of touch carves long, silver lines across the brain, in a place sometimes called the homunculus, a small inner map of the body. The fingertips, the lips, the soles of the feet, all these tender places spread wide upon the map, like rivers given more land. Each soft sensation, the cool of a sheet, the warmth of a pillow, the gentle press of a blanket against your shoulder, lights up its own quiet corner of that inner country. Right now, as you lie still, the small map within you glows in the most peaceful pattern. A blanket-shaped river, a pillow-shaped lake, a long, calm coastline of warmth all along your back. Without doing anything at all, you are drawing the map of comfort onto your own brain. Trace it slowly, breath by breath, and let the map grow quieter still. Smell, of all the senses, is the most gently woven into memory. The path from nose to brain is short and old, lined with soft mosses of association. One whisper of lavender can carry you back to a grandmother's linen closet. One ribbon of wood smoke can return you to an autumn long ago. This is plasticity at its most fragrant, weaving scent and place, and feeling into one quiet braid. Tonight, perhaps the air around you carries something soft, a faint trace of tea, of warm wood, of clean cotton, of the night itself. Let that scent become part of the room of rest within you, so that whenever it returns, your shoulders will remember to drop, your breath will remember to slow. The brain is endlessly willing to learn the shape of peace. Just keep showing it, gently, again and again, what peace smells like. In some quiet corner of your brain there is a soft listener called the auditory cortex, devoted entirely to sound. It is patient as an old librarian, archiving every melody, every voice, every rustle of leaves. With time, it learns the music of your life by heart. Your mother's call across a kitchen, rain on a particular window, the hum of a fan in summer. Even my voice, perhaps, finding its quiet shelf. Each familiar sound becomes a soft groove, a path the listener can walk in the dark without stumbling. This is why a remembered song can soothe so deeply. The grooves are well-traveled, the corridors well-loved. Tonight, let any gentle sound, the murmur of my words, the soft creak of the room, the hush of your own breath, settle onto its kindly shelf, while the inner librarian dims the lamp and joins you in rest. Light, too, leaves slow fingerprints upon your inner world. The bright blue of midday wakes the small clocks within your cells. The amber gold of evening signals to them that it is time to fold their tools and rest. Deep in your brain, a tender little group of cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus keeps watch over these clocks, like a kind old keeper of a lighthouse. Through long evolution, your brain has shaped itself in answer to the slow lullaby of day and night. So when you dim your lamps, when you lower the curtains, when you let the room sink into hush, you are speaking a very ancient language to that gentle keeper. You are saying, the day is done. And the keeper, in return, lights the soft inner candles that lead you, one by one, down the quiet stairway into sleep. There is a part of the mind called the prefrontal cortex, just behind your forehead, like a small glowing window onto the world. It is the seat of patience, of long thinking, of gentle planning. By day, it tends the garden of your choices. By night, when you rest, it dims its lights and steps away from the window, drawing soft curtains across the glass. It needs sleep to gather itself, to rearrange its quiet papers, to place fresh flowers on its desk. Without rest, its window grows clouded. With rest, it shines clear and warm again at dawn. So as you drift, imagine that small lit window above your eyes, slowly closing its shutters. The papers settle, the flowers nod, the lamp clicks softly off, and the gentle window prepares for the long blue hours when you are far away, dreaming far inside yourself. Deep within your brain rests a small almond-shaped place called the amygdala, the gentle keeper of feeling. By day, it watches over you, listening for the smallest sounds, the softest changes in the room. It is a tender guardian, nothing more. When the world feels safe, it dozes like a cat curled in a sunbeam, half listening, half dreaming. Tonight, your room is quiet, the lamps are low, the blanket is warm. The little keeper hears all this and slowly tucks its paws beneath itself, lowering its soft head onto the windowsill of you. Its breathing slows, its watchful eyes grow heavy. With every long exhale you take, the keeper sinks further into peaceful drowse. There is no need for guarding now. The night itself is keeping watch. So let the small almond rest, let the cat sleep, let the gentle guardian dream beside you in the dark. Within the brain there flows a quiet rhythm of chemicals, soft messengers that paint the weather of your mind. Serotonin drifts like warm afternoon sunlight across a wooden floor. Dopamine sparkles like sun on the surface of a slow river. Oxytocin pours like honey from a small clay jar. And as evening deepens, melatonin begins to rise, the great gentle moon of your inner sky, climbing slowly above the trees. As that soft moon ascends within you, the daylight chemicals dim, the way colors fade in a garden at dusk. The world inside you turns silver, blue, deep violet. Tonight the moon of your mind is rising right on time. You can almost feel its cool, calm light moving through your bones, settling along your shoulders, smoothing your brow. There is nothing to do but lie beneath that inner moon and let its slow tide carry you home. Each time you learn something new, even something small, your brain politely makes room. It does not crowd or strain, it simply tidies. The way a kind innkeeper sets a fresh place at a long wooden table. A new word arrives and a soft chair is drawn out for it. A new song wanders in and a candle is lit at its setting. A new face becomes dear and the innkeeper nods, choosing the seat closest to the warm hearth. Year by year, this long table grows, lined with all you have ever come to know. Tonight, after the day's quiet visitors have arrived, the innkeeper of your brain is wiping down the table, smoothing the cloth, lowering the candles. The guests are gently seated, well-fed, content. The inn grows hushed, and only the slow firelight of your breathing remains, glowing softly through the long, kind room. There is a tender word in this science called potentiation, which simply means strengthening. When two neurons greet each other often enough, their meeting place glows a little brighter, like a window lit again and again on the same quiet street. The light grows steadier. The window becomes known. Travelers passing by feel its warmth without even thinking. So it is with the small, lovely habits you build. A nightly cup of warm milk, a few pages of a soft book, the way you fold your hands before sleep. Each repetition lights another evening's lamp, until the whole inner street of you glows with familiar windows. Tonight is one more such gentle lighting, the hush of my voice, the depth of your breath, the warmth of your bed, all becoming a known and welcoming street within you. Walk it slowly, the lamps are already lit. The way home is sure. The opposite of potentiation is called depression, in its old, softer scientific sense, simply a quieting of certain pathways. When something is no longer needed, the brain gently lowers the lamps along that road, like a town settling for the night. The path is not erased, it is only rested. Forgotten errands, old grudges, small worries that no longer serve, all are slowly dimmed by this kind internal lamplighter. Tonight, perhaps, there are some little roads inside you ready to be quieted. Some thoughts that have walked you back and forth all day and now wish to rest. Allow the inner lamplighter to come, soft-footed, and lower their wicks one by one. The streets grow dimmer, the town grows hushed, and you, in your warm room above the square, sink deeper into your bedding, while the village of you finally goes to sleep. The brain is a wonderful copyist. When you watch another person do something gentle, special cells called mirror neurons quietly trace the same shape inside you. If a friend yawns, a small yawn rises in your own throat. If you watch hands knitting, your own fingers feel a faint, soft echo. If you see someone breathe slowly, calmly, your breath wishes to follow. So tonight, dear listener, imagine you are watching a quiet figure standing by a still lake, breathing slowly with the rising mist. Their shoulders drop, their eyes soften, their breath becomes long, low, easy. Inside you, the inner mirror gently copies this. Your shoulders drop, your eyes soften, your breath becomes long, low, easy. The figure by the lake is, in truth, you yourself. And you are teaching yourself, by quiet reflection, exactly how to slip into the deep, still water of sleep. In the inner garden of your brain, attention is the watering can. Wherever you pour it, soft green grows. If you pour your attention onto worry, the worried weeds grow tall, but if, very gently, you pour it onto the quiet things, the warmth in your chest, the heaviness of your eyelids, the soft fold of the blanket near your chin, those quiet things bloom instead. Plasticity follows attention the way a vine follows sunlight. Tonight, you are watering the slow, sleeping flowers of you simply by listening. Each soft word lands like a drop on the petals of rest. The hush of the room is a long, slow rain. There is nothing else to tend. The flowers of wakefulness, unwatered now, are drowsing closed, while the moonflowers of sleep open silently around you, white and tender, in the dark earth of your mind. Your hands have an entire kingdom of their own in your brain, a wide stretch of map devoted to their countless small skills. The way they hold a cup, button a sleeve, smooth a stray hair from a tired forehead. Each tender act has its own quiet province. Pianists grow vast cities for their fingertips. Gardeners grow lush fields for their palms. Even now, the kingdom of your hands is being subtly redrawn by every soft thing they touch today, by the warmth of a mug, by the cool of a doorknob, by the velvet of this blanket. Allow your hands now to rest, fingers slightly curled, like petals at evening. The mapmakers within you are putting away their inks. The roads of your hands grow quiet. The kingdom dims its lanterns. Your hands have done enough today. They may sleep deeply beside you. In the science of plasticity, there is a lovely pattern. The brain learns best when curiosity arrives gently, like a small bird at the windowsill. Push too hard and the bird flies away. Sit quietly, with a soft seed in an open palm, and the bird steps closer, head tilted, eyes bright. Curiosity opens delicate gates within you, releasing kind chemicals that help new connections form. So tonight, even your slow drift toward sleep can be a soft kind of wonder. What does the breath feel like as it leaves the body? What does the weight of the blanket feel like upon your knees? What is the smallest sound in the room? Each gentle question is a seed in an open palm. Each gentle answer is a soft little bird, hopping closer, closer, until it folds its wings and rests like you on the still windowsill. Imagine that every night, while you sleep, a tiny lamplighter walks the long streets of your brain, carrying a small ladder and a soft cloth. They climb to each lamp, polish its glass, trim its wick, and sometimes adjust its flame. Brighter here, dimmer there, according to how the day was lived. Streets used most often are tended most carefully. Streets less traveled are gently dimmed. By morning, the whole town of you glows in a finer, more harmonious light. This is sleep's quiet work. So tonight you need not direct the lamplighter. They know exactly which lanes to tend, which corners to soften, which lonely lamp to rekindle. You are simply the village, asleep above its rooftops. The little lamplighter goes about their kindly rounds, and by morning you will wake into a town more lovingly lit than the one you left. Within your brain, there are not only neurons, but countless soft companions called glial cells, named long ago from a Greek word meaning glue. But they are far more than glue. They are gentle nurses, librarians, lamp tenders, all rolled into quiet little beings. They wrap delicate sheaths around the long arms of neurons. They sweep small rooms after the day's thinking. They feed the lanterns of the mind with patient care. While you sleep, these soft companions move through the inner halls of you with their lanterns and their cloths, tending what needs tending, hushing what needs hushing. You may rest entirely. The night staff of your mind is on duty, and they know their work well. So let the wide halls of you grow dim, and trust the quiet hands of the gentle nurses to look after every corner of you while you dream. There is a particular kind of cell called an astrocyte, named after the stars, because it spreads its arms outward in many slender rays, like a small constellation. Astrocytes drift between the neurons, listening, feeding, balancing the soft chemistry of the brain. By night they help open quiet rivers within the skull, allowing gentle currents to wash through the mind, carrying away the soft dust of the day. This is sometimes called the glymphatic system, a long word for a tender thing. Picture little starlit rivers winding among your inner gardens, rinsing the moss-covered stones, smoothing the petals, leaving everything silver clean. As you sink into deeper rest, those starlit rivers begin to flow more freely. By morning, the gardens of you will be brighter, fresher, lighter. All because you allowed yourself to lie down beneath the quiet astrocytic stars and rest. Sometimes the brain shows its plasticity in the most extraordinary, tender ways. When one sense grows quiet, another grows more full. Those who walk through the world without sight often listen with finer ears. Those who walk without sound often see with finer eyes. The inner map redraws itself, devoting more of its land to whichever sense is loved most. This is not loss, it is a kind of inner generosity. The brain pours its soft attention where it is most needed, like rain, choosing the thirstiest field. Tonight, let your senses gather softly toward rest. Let your sight grow dim, your hearing soft, your touch slow. The brain, ever generous, is pouring its attention now upon the inner sense of stillness, of warm weight, of long, slow breath. And that inner field, watered so kindly, blooms quietly into the deep flower of sleep. Some scientists speak of cognitive reserve, a lovely phrase meaning the soft store of richness inside a well-loved mind. Each book read, each language learned, each piece of music heard, each conversation tended, all lay down small golden coins in this inner treasury. The treasury is not heavy. It is light as feathers, warm as honey, glowing as candle flame. And in old age or in tired days you may draw upon it gently, like reaching into a soft drawer of velvet. Tonight, every quiet thing you have loved is resting in that drawer, glowing faintly. The phrase from a poem, the taste of a soup your mother once made, the feeling of laughter shared on a long bus ride. None of it is gone. All of it is folded among your soft inner treasures, and nothing is asked of them now, only that they glow while you rest. In the soft science of plasticity, there is a tender truth. Practice without strain shapes the brain most gracefully. The pianist who plays with kindness in her hands forms cleaner pathways than the pianist who plays in fear. The gardener who weeds with patience grows greener fingers than the gardener who weeds in hurry. The brain leans toward kindness as a flower leans toward warmth. So tonight, even your rest is a kind of practice. You are practicing softness, practicing slowness, practicing letting go. Each long breath is a small, kind repetition. Each gentle release of the shoulders, each quiet settling of the jaw is shaping the inner pathways of peace. There is no need to push. Practice arrives most beautifully when it floats. So float, dear listener, float through these quiet hours and let your brain learn gently what it is to rest. When you sleep deeply, your brain folds the day's loose ends into soft origami. Each unfinished thought, each half-formed feeling, each scrap of overheard conversation is taken in patient hands and pressed gently into shape. A worry becomes a small paper boat. A wish becomes a paper crane. A memory becomes a paper lantern, glowing faintly. By morning, the long table of your mind is set with these tidy little forms, and the mess of yesterday is gone. You did not have to fold them. The slow hands of sleep know every quiet crease, so now simply hand them the day. Hand them the unfinished email, the unsaid word, the unanswered question. Lay it all upon the long, soft table. The gentle folder is sitting down. The lamp is dim. The paper is warm. And you may close your eyes and let your origami begin. It is said that musicians who play stringed instruments grow a wider region of the brain devoted to their fingertips. Tiny silver inlets bloom across the inner map, like new streams running through a meadow. Yet the most beautiful part is this: even simply imagining playing the instrument, slowly, tenderly, can begin to widen those streams. The brain does not always need to know the difference between a thing done and a thing softly imagined. Tonight, imagine that your own hands are folded around something dear. A warm cup, a loved one's fingers, the hand of your younger self. Feel the gentle weight of it. Feel the slow rise and fall of breath against your palms. With each soft breath, the inner streams of tenderness are widening within you, and a more peaceful map is drawn, one slow inhale at a time. There is a sweetness in the brain's love of repetition. Sing the same lullaby 100 times to a small child, and they do not tire of it. They settle deeper into its melody each night, so your own brain, even in adulthood, never tires of soft repetitions. The same evening tea, the same way you pull the curtain, the same place where you set your slippers, the same gentle voice in the dark. With each repeating, the path is softened. With each repeating, the weight of the day eases more quickly. Tonight, my voice is one such gentle repetition, walking with you again through the slow halls of rest. Whether this is your first night here or your 100th, the inner pathways are smoothing further still, until the whole journey towards sleep flows like a familiar lullaby, sung quietly beside the warm cradle of yourself. In some experiments, scientists have noticed how the brains of those who meditate gently grow thicker in the regions devoted to attention and compassion, as if quiet, kind awareness slowly thickens the soft moss upon the stones of the mind. Over months and years, those patient stones grow a deeper, plusher green, and anyone passing through that inner forest feels welcomed as if into a long-loved place. Tonight, you are walking just such a slow path. Each long breath is a gentle footstep. Each soft listening is a tender pause. Even if you have only 10 minutes of stillness before sleep finds you, those 10 minutes are quietly thickening the moss within you. There is no measuring how much, only the steady kind growing. And the woods of your mind grow ever softer underfoot, until walking through yourself feels like walking through a garden remembered from childhood. Imagine your brain at twilight, like a vast city slowly settling for the night. The bright shop signs dim one by one. The traffic of thought slows. The street lamps of memory bloom into soft amber. In the windows of small homes, lamps glow warmly behind drawn curtains. This twilight hour is when plasticity does some of its softest work. The day's noisy streets quieten, allowing the quiet streets of memory to be tended. Workers come out with brooms to sweep the crosswalks of attention. Lanterns are lit along the riverwalk of feeling. There is something deeply right about this nightly hush. The inner city does not fall apart. It simply turns down its lights, that the more delicate work may begin. And you, like a lone window above the silent square, lower your blinds at last and join the slow, sweet sleep of your shining inner town. Tucked deep within your brain rests a place sometimes called the default mode network, a kind of gentle inner studio where the mind muses when it has no particular task. It is here that your daydreams play, small films flickering softly on a quiet screen. By day, you may step into this studio watching memories drift, imagining tomorrow, rehearsing soft conversations. By night, the studio dims, but does not close. It plays a longer, softer film, woven from threads of your living, your loving, your wondering. Tonight, no ticket is needed, no hurry. Simply lean back into the warmth of yourself and let the studio's slow film begin. Some scenes you will remember, many you will not. And all of them are part of the careful work of plasticity, tenderly weaving the long, beloved storyline of you beneath the slow blue curtains of sleep. There is a particular kind of gentleness in nighttime memory consolidation. While you sleep, your brain reaches softly for the day's events, like a child reaching into a small tin of buttons. It picks each one up, turns it slowly, and decides where it shall live. Some go to the bright drawer of long memory, some to the soft drawer of quiet feeling, some to the velvet pouch of dreams, some, smiling, are placed back into the day tin to drift away by morning. None is judged harshly, all attended with care. Tonight the tin of your day is open, and the patient hands within you are sorting, sorting, sorting. You need only listen to the small click of each button finding its proper home. Listen long enough, and the clicks grow softer, slower, until they are no more than the quiet beating of your own resting heart. It is a lovely thought that even your dreams help shape your waking self. As your sleeping mind rehearses small scenarios beneath closed lids, certain pathways are quietly strengthened. The way you might respond to a soft surprise, the way you might find a word for a feeling, the way you might recognize a face in candlelight. Dreams are like rehearsal halls draped in deep blue velvet, where the actors of your inner life walk through their long, slow plays. Tonight the velvet curtains are being drawn. The actors are taking their gentle places. There will be no critic, no audience, but the warm silence of your bedroom, just the soft drama of your dreaming, working its slow tenderness upon you. So lie back and let the curtains rise. The play is for you, and you alone, dear sleeper, in the deep blue rehearsal hall. In the science of plasticity, there is a quiet idea called scaffolding. When you're learning something tender, your brain leans on what is already known, like new vines climbing the lattice of older branches. A new language curls around the trellis of your mother tongue. A new song threads through familiar rhythms. A new feeling rests upon old beloved feelings. Over time, the new vines may grow strong enough to stand on their own. Tonight, every soft word in this slow story rests upon the gentle lattice of all the kind words you have ever heard. Each phrase climbs upon the warm trellis of every lullaby, every grandmother's voice, every patient teacher, every loving friend. So the warmth of all those past kindnesses is still here, weaving with this present hush, holding you up, carrying you slowly into sleep. Halfway through our long, slow journey, dear listener, you may feel yourself softly suspended, like a leaf turning slowly in still water. There is no need to hurry, no fact ahead that you must reach, no fact behind that you must remember. You are exactly where you ought to be, in the quiet middle of a kind story. Within you, plasticity is doing its tenderest work, weaving everything you have heard into the soft cloth of you. The ferns are leaning aside on inner paths. The lamps are being trimmed in inner streets. The gentle nurses are tending inner halls. The seahorse is tucking its shells. The astrocytic stars are flowing through silvery rivers. So if you are still awake, let it be enough simply to drift here, in the warm middle of the night, midway in a slow and lovely tale, halfway between yourself and your sleep. There is something tender about how the brain learns from gentleness. When you speak kindly to yourself, even silently, soft chemicals drift through you like petals on a slow stream. The pathways of self-kindness deepen with every quiet repetition, the way a creek carves its bed by patient flowing. By contrast, harshness, even silent harshness, makes the inner waters churn. Tonight, only soft words are needed. You did enough today. You are exactly enough now. The blanket loves the shape of you. The pillow welcomes the weight of your head. With each kind whisper, an inner stream is widening, smoothing, glowing under moonlight. Even if you simply hear my voice and let no thoughts come, the gentleness in this room is shaping the gentleness within you. Plasticity is not always a thing you must do. Sometimes it is simply a thing that happens while you are softly loved. Picture, if you will, the strange and lovely truth that the brain has no pain receptors of its own. It does not feel itself being touched. It is the soft inner sky, holding all the world's storms and sunshine, while remaining quiet within. Like the still center of a wind chime, around which all the small bells ring. This means that the place where you are most yourself is, in a sense, completely tender, completely undisturbed. The clamor of the day rings far out at the edges, and the deep middle of you stays calm. Tonight, you may rest within that still middle, the soundless hollow of your own being. The day's ringing fades into the distance. The bells grow quiet, and in the soundless heart of you, plasticity weaves its slow, kind work, tucking the music of your living into a hushed and timeless place. Some scientists describe the brain as a prediction machine. ever guessing what comes next, like a kind old storyteller who knows your favorite tales by heart. When the world matches its quiet predictions, the storyteller smiles softly when it does not. New lines are gently added to the story. Every small surprise, even the smallest, helps shape the brain's evolving tale of the world. Tonight, however, there are no surprises. The room is as it was. The blanket lies as expected. The breath rises and falls along its familiar curve. The storyteller within you nods gently content. There is no new chapter that must be written tonight, only the long, soft rereading of the chapter you already know by heart, the chapter called Rest. So the storyteller closes the book upon their lap. The lamp grows dim, and the tale tells itself without sound. In a place deep beneath your forehead lies a small cluster called the basal ganglia, which loves rhythm and habit the way an old farmhand loves the slow turning of seasons. It learns the path from the bed to the kitchen, the way you stir your morning tea, the small hum you give before you sigh. With time, these become so smooth that you barely notice them, like wagon ruts in soft, familiar earth. Tonight, the basal ganglia is doing its quiet evening rounds. Already knows the shape of your sleeping. It knows how you fold your hand beneath your cheek. It knows how your breath slows before dreams begin. There is a deep comfort in this. A whole village within you knows how to put you to sleep. You need not remember the way. You need only allow the village to walk you home. There is a graceful word called engram, used for the soft trace a memory leaves behind, a kind of inner shadow lingering in the tall grass. When you remember, you do not pull out the original moment, but gently revisit the shadow, brushing the grass aside, watching the shape settle once more. Each visit reshapes the shadow ever so slightly, like a soft wind smoothing footprints. So memories grow gentler over time, more rounded, more at peace with themselves. Tonight, the day's small engrams are settling into your inner meadow, faint shapes lying down in the grass. They will be visited again, perhaps in dreams, perhaps in mornings to come. Each visit, the wind of your kindness will smooth them further, until what remains in the meadow is only the soft golden outline of a day that, however ordinary, was yours and was loved. The brain enjoys the company of stories more than the company of plain facts. A bare list slips through the mind like sand. A story sticks gently, like honey to a wooden spoon. This is why so much knowledge is wrapped in tales, fables, songs. Plasticity favors narrative the way moss favors shaded stones. So tonight, even the science of your own brain has been wrapped in lullabies, in seahorses and lamplighters, gardens and lanterns, woods and rivers. Each soft image is a small jar of honey, settling in the cupboard of you. Long after this night ends, these images may surface gently, in another quiet hour, comforting you when you need a kind metaphor for your own becoming. For now, however, no remembering is required, only the slow tasting of honey on a spoon, only the hush of a story being told to you, beneath the kind, dark. Picture two old friends meeting after many years apart. The space between them, once bright with constant talk, has grown quieter, softer. But when they meet again, the warmth returns easily, as if their conversation had only paused for a long, gentle breath. So it is with the connections within you. Even pathways unused for years are not gone. They wait, like old friends, ready to be greeted again. Plasticity allows for this loyal patience. Tonight, you might think gently of someone you have not seen in a long while. A grandmother, a childhood friend, a small dog. Inside you, the inner pathway to that loved one quietly brightens. There is no hurry, no demand, only the soft acknowledgement. You are still here within me. And as you drift towards sleep, these inner reunions glow softly, like distant lamps welcoming you home. The brain takes special delight in awe. That feeling of softness when you stand beneath a vast night sky or by a slow, wide river. Awe widdens the inner rooms of the self, lowers the inner walls, invites new connections to bloom. Even a small sip of awe, a leaf turning slowly in the air, the curve of a moonlit cloud, can leave gentle impressions inside you. Tonight, dear listener, awe is here in the most quiet form. the simple wonder that within you, billions of tiny lanterns are softly glowing, that a whole inner sky turns above your pillow, that the ordinary act of sleeping is, in truth, an extraordinary act of weaving and tending. Allow this soft awe to settle, like dusk over fields. Without effort, your inner rooms grow taller, airier, kinder, and the whole of you breathes more slowly, beneath the ceiling of stars. In old folk tales, there are wise weavers who sit at their looms by candlelight, weaving the lives of dreamers into long, soft tapestries. Science offers a similar vision in its own gentle way. Each night, the brain's quiet weavers braid the day's threads, bright and dim, fine and rough, into the long cloth of you. By morning, a new patch is finished, almost invisible, but everlasting. Over years, these patches form the slow tapestry of your becoming. There is no judgment in the weaving, only patience, only craft, only love. Tonight, your inner weavers are beginning their soft work. The threads of today are laid out in tidy rows. The shuttle is taken up. The candle gently flickers. And outside the loom, you, the dreamer, lie wrapped in everything they have ever made, while they continue in the deep quiet to weave one more soft inch of you. There is a particular slow magic in repetition without strain. When a child practices walking, they do not scold themselves for each small wobble. They simply rise, take another step, fall, rise again. The brain delights in this gentle rhythm, laying down soft strands of myelin, smoothing each pathway until walking becomes as natural as breathing. The same rhythm holds for any kind learning, in childhood or in age. So tonight, even your slow drifting is a kind of rising and gently falling. Each time your mind wanders away, it is simply taking a small wandering step. Each time you return softly to my voice, or to your breath, you are taking another. There is no failing here, only walking, only soft return. And like a small child, you are quietly mastering the most beautiful skill of all, the skill of resting in your own life. Within the brain there is a substance called gamma-aminobutyric acid, often shortened to GABA, the patient hushkeeper of the mind. Picture it as a soft librarian walking among the inner shelves with one finger gently at her lips. When too many lanterns flicker, she calms them. When too many voices rise, she lowers them. By night she walks slower, dimming the reading lamps, laying soft bookmarks in half-read tales, drawing thick velvet curtains across the great inner library. As you settle into rest, the patient librarian within you is making her quiet rounds. The books of your day are being closed, the lamps of your thinking are being lowered. The library grows hushed, fragrant with old paper and warm wood, and you, like a small child who fell asleep among the shelves, are gently lifted by her tender hand and carried into the deep, dark reading room of dreams. There is something especially tender about how plasticity responds to safety. The brain blooms most beautifully when it feels held. Like a garden behind a soft wall, sheltered from wind, it can open more delicate flowers, vines that do not bear the rough weather of fear. Tonight, you are within just such a garden. Your room is the soft wall, the dim light is the warm sun. The blanket is the patient gardener, and inside this gentle enclosure, the most delicate blooms of you are opening their petals, pale and luminous in the moonlight. Trust grows here, calm grows here, quiet self-friendship grows here. There is no rushed pollination, no harsh hand, only slow opening, slow unfolding, slow becoming. So lie still inside the safe garden of your own evening, and let the moon blooms of you unfurl in their own kind time. Have you ever noticed how a single soft phrase can quiet an entire room? A gentle, all is well. A patient, you are safe. A tender, you may rest now. The brain hears these words and adjusts the whole weather of itself. Through long evolution, your nervous system has learned to lean into kindness, like a flower leaning into late sunlight. Tonight, every soft phrase in this story is doing such tender work within you. All is well. You are safe. You may rest now. Each phrase is a slow lamp lit upon an inner sill. Each phrase is a small, warm hand placed gently upon a tense shoulder. Slowly, slowly, the inner weather changes. The clouds part. The wind softens. The night settles. And within you, the long-lit windows of peace begin to glow. One by one, all along the quiet street of your being. The brain shapes itself not only to what we experience, but to what we imagine. A soft inner picture, held with gentleness, can leave its own faint footprint on the inner sand. Athletes who practice in their minds, slowly, calmly, often improve in their bodies. Musicians who hear their songs in stillness deepen their skill. Tonight you may simply imagine yourself sleeping deeply, peacefully, all night long. Picture your body lying still beneath a kind moon. Picture your breath flowing like a slow tide. Picture morning light reaching softly through curtains, finding you rested and whole. With every gentle imagining, those inner footprints are pressed into the warm sand of plasticity. The brain, ever patient, takes the picture as a kind of quiet lullaby and begins to learn its shape until peace becomes not only a hope, but a soft and trusted way of being. There is a sweet idea in the gentle science of resilience, that each time you weather a small difficulty with kindness, you teach the brain how to weather. Each time you ride out a quiet wave of feeling, like a small boat upon a slow swell, the inner waters learn that they are safe to move. Plasticity strengthens not only what you do, but how you meet what you do. Tonight, even rest is a kind of meeting. You meet tiredness with welcome. You meet the day with farewell. You meet the night with open arms. With each tender meeting, your inner sea grows smoother, more practiced in calm. So lie like a small, soft boat upon that sea, your sails folded, your lantern dim, your hands resting lightly upon your chest, while the slow, blue current of sleep carries you just so, toward morning. Within your eyes, special cells called retinal ganglion cells listen for the color of light, sending soft messages deep into the brain. Blue light tells those messages to wake, warm orange light, the color of evening lamps and candle flames, tells them to rest. Over thousands and thousands of years, your nervous system learned this language. So when you dim your lamps to amber, when you let the lights of your devices fade, you whisper a very old word into the inner ear of your brain. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Tonight, perhaps your room glows softly in such warm tones, or perhaps your eyes are closed and the only color is the soft red gold behind your lids. Either way, the ancient message is being sent, gently, faithfully. And the inner keeper of the lighthouse is lowering the lamp, signaling to all of you, the harbor of sleep is near. Even your bones speak softly to your brain. With each gentle step you take, tiny signals travel upward, telling stories of the body's grounded living shape. Today, perhaps, you walked across a kitchen floor, or stepped softly down a hallway, or crossed a quiet street. Each small footstep wove a soft thread between body and mind. Now, lying still, the threads do not vanish. They glow faintly, holding you down toward the bed like a kindly anchor. The brain knows your body is safe upon the earth. It knows the long day of standing is over. It knows the time has come to be gathered, like a sheaf of wheat at evening, into the warm barn of sleep. So rest your weight fully into the bedding. Each muscle softens, each bone loosens, and the slow, soft barn of you is filled with all the day's gathered light. The science of plasticity tells a tender truth about the aging brain. It does not stop changing. It only changes more quietly, like an old, well-loved garden settling into deeper, richer soil. New flowers may bloom slower, but they bloom with greater fragrance. New paths may form gradually, but they form with greater wisdom. Old age is not a closing of the inner garden, but a deepening of it. Tonight, however old or young you may feel, your inner garden is welcoming the night. The fragrant flowers of your years are lowering their petals in soft sleep. The deeper soil of your wisdom is breathing slowly beneath them. There is no race, no youth to chase. Only the long, lovely breath of a garden grown true to itself. Lie within it, dear listener, and let your years rest as gently as your body beneath the kind, dark sky. Sometimes, plasticity shines through the most ordinary, tender choices. To pause before answering, to breathe before reacting, to notice before deciding. Each gentle pause is a small space in which the brain can choose a softer pathway, like a wanderer at a forked path who chooses, again and again, the kinder lane. Over time, that lane becomes well-tended, while the rougher one quietly grows over with vines. Tonight, you have been pausing all this long while, breathing slowly, listening softly. Each pause has been an inner choice for kindness. Each breath has been a small step down the gentle lane. Without any sharp turning, without any forceful effort, the inner countryside of you is being remapped toward peace. So allow the pause to deepen one more time, into the longest pause of all, the kind, dark pause of falling fully asleep. In the very center of your brain, there is a tiny structure called the pineal gland, no larger than a small grain of rice. By night, it begins to release the moonlit messenger melatonin, drop by gentle drop. Imagine it as a small lighthouse on a forested hilltop, lighting up only when dusk arrives, sending soft beams across all the inner valleys of you. Each beam tells your cells the harbor is closing, the boats may rest, the work is done for the night. Tonight, the lighthouse within you is shining quietly. The valleys of your body are filling with that pale, kind light. Limbs grow heavier, eyes grow softer, thoughts grow shorter, dimmer, slower. And somewhere in your inner harbor, every small boat is being tied gently to its post, so that it may drift only as much as its own breath allows beneath the slow, patient lighthouse beam. There is a phrase in the gentle science of learning called the Goldilocks principle. The brain learns best when challenges are not too hard, not too easy, but just right, like porridge eaten in a quiet wooden bowl. Just right is a feeling of soft engagement, neither strain nor boredom, like a path that climbs only as much as the climber's heart wishes. Tonight, however, there is no climbing at all. There is only the just right of resting, not too much thinking, not too little, not too much sound, not too little, not too much movement, not too little. The bowl of your evening is filled with a porridge perfectly warm, perfectly soft. You may simply taste the warmth and let your eyes close. The brain, content in its just right hush, settles down beside you, like a small sleepy creature in a soft wooden chair. The brain has a tender fondness for novelty when it is wrapped in safety, like a child meeting a new puppy in the safety of a grandmother's kitchen. New things shape the brain, but only kindly when the heart trusts the room. Tonight, perhaps, this is the first time you have heard certain ideas about your inner world: the lighthouse, the seahorse, the lamplighter, the librarian. These small new images are entering your mind through a doorway of warmth. The brain, feeling safe, takes them in with curiosity rather than caution. Like the child kneeling on a kitchen floor, you let the new gently approach, and as you sleep, the new images settle into the soft fur of memory, becoming part of your inner herd of comforting things, ready to nuzzle close again on some future night when sleep feels far, but might be welcomed in. In the soft poetry of plasticity, every conversation leaves a trace. The voices of your loved ones are written into you in invisible inks, glowing only in dim light. Their cadence, their warmth, their pauses all live softly within you even when you are alone. This is why a remembered phrase from a kind grandmother can comfort you decades later. The ink shines again. The voice returns. Tonight, perhaps you can hear, faintly, some loving voice from your past, saying something gentle. Perhaps a "sleep well," perhaps a "you are loved," perhaps merely the soft hum of a song. Whatever rises, allow it to glow within the quiet halls of you, like a candle held by a beloved figure in an old, dim photograph. The candle does not go out. It only waits, patiently, to glow again whenever you are tired, whenever you are tender, whenever you simply need to rest. Your hands, your feet, your face, all speak silently to the brain through the soft skin between you and the world. The brain learns the language of textures over a lifetime. The cool of a morning window pane, the warmth of a small dog beside your knee, the soft fluff of a clean towel, the smooth weight of a pebble carried in a pocket. Tonight, the textures of bedtime are familiar, the cotton of the sheets, the give of the pillow, the weight of the blanket, the warmth gathering between your skin and the linens. Each texture is a small note in a long-loved song. The brain hums along quietly, recognizing every note. There is nothing for you to do but lie within the music of these textures and let them remind your nervous system with gentle authority that this is the time to rest. This is the place to rest. Halfway between dreaming and waking lies a soft country called the hypnagogic state, a place of drifting images, gentle voices, slow falling shapes. Some scientists believe this is where some of plasticity's loveliest work begins, as the brain loosens its rigid lines and allows new connections to drift together, like ribbons in a slow stream. You may have visited this country many times without naming it. The half-dream of warm thoughts before sleep, the soft visions of a meadow as the body grows still, the melodies that arrive without source. Tonight, allow yourself to drift into that soft country. There is no map needed. The borders are gentle, the streams are kind, the ribbons of memory and imagination are dancing slowly together, weaving you into one more soft rebirth, while the great, quiet weaver of sleep watches over the loom of your sweet inner life. Within the gentle science of plasticity, there is a soft truth about touch. A warm hand on a tired shoulder can change the chemistry of the brain, sending soft messengers of calm down through the body. Even a hand placed kindly on your own chest can do this. The brain does not require many words. It listens to warmth, it listens to weight, it listens to softness. Tonight, perhaps you might let one hand rest gently upon your heart or upon your belly, the way a kind elder might lay a hand upon a sleepy child. Feel the slow rise and fall beneath your palm. Feel the small, warm weight of your own care. With each soft breath, gentle messengers drift through you, saying, "You are held, you are held, you are held." And the inner pathways of self-tenderness deepen, like soft lanes glowing under summer dusk. The brain takes deep nourishment from beauty. A slow sunset, a melody half heard from a distant window, a single candle burning steadily on a wooden table. Each of these tender sights settles into the inner world, leaving a small, glowing residue behind. Plasticity gathers this residue, pearl by pearl, into a quiet necklace of inner riches. Tonight, the beauty is simple, the hush of the room, the shape of darkness behind your closed eyes, the slow architecture of your own breath. These quiet beauties are pearls being threaded onto your inner string. By morning, the necklace is a little longer, a little softer, a little more luminous. You wear it without weight, you wear it without seeing, and it becomes over years the gentle ornament of who you are, glowing softly beneath all your days, all your nights, all your slow becomings. In the tender geometry of the brain, certain regions glow especially warmly during gratitude. As soft as it sounds, gratitude carves wider paths within you, like grateful footsteps wearing a kindly road through long grass. Even the smallest acknowledgements matter. The warmth of a cup of tea, the kindness of a familiar voice, the gift of a soft pillow at the end of a long day. Tonight, you might let one small gratitude rise gently to the surface, like a leaf floating up through still water. Whatever it is, let it linger. Let it hover above the slow ripples of your breath. Inside you, the road of gratitude widens just a little more, smoother for tomorrow's walking. There is no need to recite a list. One soft thanks is enough. The kind inner road glows beneath it, and your shoulders sink yet deeper into the welcoming bed. There is a soft poetry in how plasticity favors slowness over hurry. Hurried lessons slip from the mind like rain from a tilted leaf. Slow lessons soak in like water into rich, dark earth. A quiet conversation, a patient hour with a book, a long walk with no destination. All of these gentle slownesses leave deep, fertile traces. Tonight, the slowest lesson of all is unfolding, the lesson of letting go. Each long, slow breath is a small drop of rain upon the rich earth of you. Each moment of stillness is a small, soft soaking. You are not memorizing, you are not striving, you are simply being slowly watered. By morning, the inner earth of you will hold a little more moisture, a little more readiness for tomorrow's quiet bloom. So let yourself be slowly watered, here in the soft, dark soil of night. Picture, if you will, a small lantern hanging in the dim corridor of an inn. Travelers pass by, some bright and laughing, some weary and silent. The lantern does not change its kind, steady glow, it only continues, faithful, warm. Within your brain, there are pathways like this lantern. Steady kindnesses cultivated over time, simple practices of patience and care. Each kind interaction, each soft choice, each gentle sigh of forgiveness has trimmed this lantern's wick, polished its glass, fed its oil. Tonight that lantern still burns within you. Whatever roughness the day held, the lantern was not extinguished. It only flickered, then steadied. It is still glowing now, a small warm circle in the long corridor of yourself. Travelers pass through and feel its kindness without naming it, and the lantern content simply continues patient witness to your tender, ongoing becoming. There is a sweet idea in the gentle science of habit, that small actions repeated daily shape the inner world more than grand gestures done once. Just a few patient minutes of stretching, a few slow sips of warm water, a few words written in a quiet journal, lay down softer paths than any sudden, dramatic effort. The brain favors the small, the steady, the kind. So tonight is a small, steady, kind offering. A few quiet minutes of slow listening, a few gentle breaths, a few moments of feeling held by the bedding. Each small act sinks like a soft seed into the rich loam of you. Over many such evenings, an inner orchard begins to grow, blossom by patient blossom. There is no need to see this orchard now, only to plant the small, soft seed of this present hour and let the night tend the rest. In some quiet experiments, scientists have noticed that even rats, given enriched and gentle environments, grow more elaborate inner worlds. Their tiny brains develop more connections, more pathways, more soft inner branches. Plasticity loves softness, novelty, and play in any creature that has a heart. Tonight, your environment, however simple, is rich in just the right ways. The hush of the air, the kindness in this voice, the warmth of your bedding. These gentle conditions are exactly what your inner garden needs. New little tendrils are reaching out slowly, slowly. New small leaves are unfurling within you. There is no need to count them, only to lie in the gentle enclosure of your evening, like a creature in a soft, well-tended burrow. The world is kind, the night is warm, and your inner world is quietly, contentedly, growing more beautiful while you rest. There is a quiet phrase among teachers of meditation, that the mind is like a jar of muddy water. When shaken, it grows cloudy. When set down and left still, the silt slowly settles, and the water grows clear. So it is in the brain. When you stop stirring, even for a little while, the inner waters clear themselves through their own kindness. Plasticity gently rearranges the silt, finding new places for it to rest, leaving brighter waters above. Tonight, the jar of you is set down upon a soft No hand stirs it now. The silt of the day settles gently to the bottom. Light from a faraway lamp filters through the clearing waters. Inside the jar, all is becoming pure and still. By morning, the waters of your mind will be brighter. Even though you did nothing, you only set the jar down. Even the heart speaks to the brain in a soft, ongoing conversation. The vagus nerve carries signals from the heart upward, telling the brain how the inner weather feels. When the heart slows and steadies, the brain trusts more deeply that all is well. So slow, calm breathing, the kind that gently lengthens the exhale, sends a slow, steady heartbeat upward, like a low, kind bell tolling in a small village. Tonight your inhale may be soft, but your exhale can be slower, longer, kinder. With each long out breath, the bell in the village tolls deeper, more peacefully. The brain hears it, settles further. The amygdala drowses. The prefrontal cortex dims its lamps. The whole town sinks into hush, beneath the gentle, faithful tolling of your breath. And you, like a small house with a single warm window, lower your shutters at last. In the slow art of plasticity, even forgetting is a kind of gentleness. The brain is wise enough to release some things, to keep itself from being overburdened. Old phone numbers, old grudges, the shape of last year's grocery list, all are softly let go like leaves swept down a quiet stream. This kind forgetting is not a flaw, but a deep mercy. Tonight, you are allowed to forget the day, the list of small tasks, the minor concerns, the exact arrangement of the morning's emails. All may drift gently downstream into the wide, forgetful sea. The brain, freed of these small leaves, has room to tend the deeper, more lasting waters within. So lie back, dear listener, and let the small leaves go. The river of forgetting is patient. The sea of release is wide, and the boat of your sleep is softly afloat upon it. There is a delicate truth in the science of the breath. The way you breathe in a moment shapes the brain in that moment. Quick, shallow breaths whisper to the inner town, hurry, hurry, hurry. Slow, deep breaths whisper, rest, rest, rest. The brain is a careful listener. It does not argue. It only follows the breath's gentle leadership, the way a slow boat follows a calm current. Tonight, your breath is the kindest of leaders. It does not push. It does not pull. It only flows. With each slow inhale, the inner valley fills with soft mist. With each slow exhale, the mist drifts down to the river. The valley grows quieter. The river grows fuller. The boat of you drifts on, unhurried, unworried, deeper into the long, dim glade of sleep, guided only by the patient lantern of your breath. In the gentle world of neuroplasticity, kindness toward oneself is a soft technology. Each time you speak inwardly with patience, the brain learns the texture of patience. Each time you forgive yourself for being human, the brain learns the texture of forgiveness. Over time, these textures become the inner cloth of who you are, soft, well-loved, easy upon the skin of your spirit. Tonight, perhaps, allow one small inner phrase of kindness to settle softly. I am doing my best. I am allowed to rest. I am safe enough now. Each phrase is a thread woven into the inner cloth. The cloth grows warmer, more comforting. By morning you will not remember the threads, only the softness. And in years to come, that softness will be a quiet companion. Something you may wrap around yourself often and freely, in countless quiet hours of need. There are days when learning feels heavy, and days when learning feels light. The brain shapes most beautifully on the lighter days, when the heart is open and curious. Lightness is not laziness. It is a kind of inner permission, a willingness to let things matter without straining over them. Plasticity prefers an open hand to a clenched one. Tonight, even your listening is light. You do not need to remember every word. You do not need to capture every image. You only need to lie within the soft falling of these phrases, like lying in a meadow as snowflakes drift slowly down. Some flakes settle on your sleeve, some melt into your skin, some you do not notice at all, and yet the snowfall in its gentle entirety is shaping the meadow and shaping you. You may simply lie still beneath it, light, content, asleep. In the soft language of the inner world, comfort itself is a teacher. Each time the body is comforted, the brain learns that comfort is possible, that it is welcome, that it is lasting. A warm bath, a loved one's quiet presence, a blanket pulled up to the chin. Each is a small, lasting lesson. Tonight, every comfort around you is offering its slow instruction. The warmth of the bedding, the quiet of the room, the gentle voice in your ears. The brain takes notes in soft inner ink, in pages it will reread for years to come. Comfort is real. Comfort is here. Comfort is yours. Without trying, you are deepening your inner library of comfort, page by quiet page. And in some far future moment of difficulty, you may open this very chapter, and find it still glowing, still wide, still kind. There is a particular kind of rest the brain especially loves, the rest that comes when one feels listened to be heard, even silently, even by oneself, soothes the inner halls of the mind. Tonight, you have been listening, but you have also been heard by your own quiet attention. Your breath is heard, your heart is heard. The small, weary places within you are heard. Plasticity gathers around this listening, weaving it into the lasting cloth of self-companionship. Even when no one else is near, you may always be your own kind listener. Tonight, perhaps you have begun to understand this in the deepest way. The brain learns it, the body learns it, the night learns it. And you, dear listener, drift towards sleep knowing in some soft, wordless place that you will never be entirely alone in the quiet halls of your own being. In the slow art of nighttime, the brain trims 1,000 small worries the way a gentle gardener trims a hedge in early summer dusk. Each small clipping falls noiselessly to the soft earth. Each clipped twig is one less weight upon the bough of you. The hedge does not feel diminished. It feels lightened, freed, more able to bend kindly with the breeze. Tonight, the inner gardener within you is doing such tender trimming. Worries you cannot name are being lightly clipped away. Concerns that no longer serve you are softly lowered. The bough of you grows lighter, more able to sway, more graceful in the deep blue evening wind. By morning, you may not even remember what was trimmed. You will only feel a quiet ease, a gentler sway, as you move through your tomorrow, lightened by the patient hands of the inner gardener of sleep. There is a beautiful idea in the gentle science of memory that we do not simply hold the past. The past also holds us. Each kind moment from earlier in your life is still living, in some quiet sense, within the shape of your nervous system. The way you smiled at 6 years old when given a warm cookie, the way you rested your head on a parent's shoulder, the way you laughed beside a small friend on a summer evening. All these still glow faintly, supporting the present shape of your kindness. Tonight, you are held by all the soft moments of your living. They are the gentle scaffolding beneath your sleep. There is no need to remember each one. It is enough to know they are there, like soft beams of an old wooden house, holding the warm room of you steady, while the long blue hours of dreaming begin. The brain is a careful keeper of small joys. Even the briefest delight, well noticed, leaves a trace. The taste of cool water on a hot afternoon. The unexpected song of a bird on a quiet morning. The first soft step into a freshly made bed. Plasticity loves these small, savored moments and makes inner room for them. Tonight, perhaps one small joy of today is gently rising. Whatever it is, no matter how small, allow it to be honored. Let it stretch out a little within you. Let it linger like the smell of warm bread in a closed kitchen. As it lingers, the inner shelf of small joys grows a little wider. The brain quietly pins this joy upon a soft inner board beside countless others, and the gallery of your inner joys glows on, quietly, in the dim corridor of your sleeping mind. Within the plastic, ever-shaping brain, even rest itself becomes a remembered art. The more you rest deeply, the more your nervous system learns the way home. Pathways toward calm grow well-traveled. Pathways toward worry grow more lightly walked. Over time, simply lying down at evening becomes a powerful cue, like the smell of the sea reminding a sailor that they are nearly home. Tonight, your nervous system is rehearsing this homeward way. Each long breath, each soft release, each gentle settling of the limbs is one more step home along an inner shore. The lighthouse glows in the distance, the harbor is safe, the boats are tied, the waves are kind. By morning, the path home will be a little more known within you, a little more love, and the seas of your sleep will rock you gently, with the trust of a long-trained, kindly sailor. There is a quiet, encompassing wonder in this, that the brain shapes the mind, but the mind also shapes the brain. They are not separate things, but one slow, breathing partnership. Each kind thought you have ever had has lifted a small lamp within the inner town. Each soft attention you have ever given has paved a smoother lane. The mind is not a passenger, but a tender co-creator, walking hand in hand with the soft architecture of the brain. Tonight, this gentle partnership rests together. The architect lays down their pencil. The walker sits upon a low stone wall. They breathe in unison beneath the slow stars. And you, dear listener, are not separate from either. You are the long, kind conversation between them, the soft hum of their shared evening. Lie back into that hum and let the partnership rest, and you with them. There is a deep tenderness in the truth that you do not have to do anything special tonight. The brain knows how to consolidate memory. The body knows how to slow the breath. The heart knows how to find its quiet rhythm. Plasticity knows how to weave its quiet weaving. Sleep knows how to come. You may simply allow. There is nothing to fix. There is nothing to perform. There is nothing to perfect. Tonight, you are off duty from yourself. The inner village does its rounds without your direction. The inner gardeners trim the hedges without your supervision. The inner librarian lowers the lamps without your instruction. And you, the long-loved soul at the center of it all, may rest beneath every quiet labor, untroubled, unhurried, simply held. The most beautiful work of the night is done by no one in particular, in the kindest of ways. Imagine the night itself as a great, soft pair of hands. They have rocked countless beings to sleep. Children, animals, ancient seas, slow forests. They have rocked the moon across the sky and the stars through their long, slow rounds. They are old, patient hands, and they know the shape of every weariness, every longing, every kind heart. Tonight, those great, soft hands cradle you. They know exactly how to hold you. They are not new at this. They have rocked you on countless nights you no longer remember, when you were very small, when you were dreaming, when you did not even know they were there. They are here now, they are holding you now. And as your breath grows slower, as your eyes grow heavier, as your thoughts grow dimmer, you sink deeper into the warm cradle of those ancient, kind, ever-loving hands. It is said that the brain is shaped by what it remembers, but also by what it forgets. The kindly forgetting tonight is a great gift. The forgetting of small slights, the forgetting of trivial worries, the forgetting of the day's smallest, sharpest edges. By morning, those edges are softened, smoothed by the slow, gentle hands of sleep. Like sea glass tumbled in deep waters, what remains is rounder, kinder, softer to the touch. Tonight the day is being tumbled in the soft tides within you. Whatever was rough is being smoothed, whatever was sharp is being rounded. By morning, you may pick up the day in memory and find that it has become a warm, smooth stone in your palm, a small treasure, no longer a weight. So lie back and let the night tumble all the day's stones into kindly little gems for you to keep. In the deepest hours of sleep, plasticity does its most luminous work. New connections settle, old connections soften. Memories find their tender shelves, feelings unfold and refold themselves like small paper birds. The brain becomes, in its quiet way, a soft and shimmering loom, weaving you into a slightly more whole version of yourself with each passing hour. Tonight, you are beginning to glide into those deep hours. The waves are growing longer, the river is growing slower, the lanterns are nearly all dimmed. The lighthouse beam pulses gently, the seahorse sleeps, the librarian sits down. The lamplighter rests upon a quiet bench, and you, the long-loved center of all this hush, are slipping at last into the great, dark, kind expanse of dreams. There the loom continues, soundlessly, and you are being woven, ever so gently, into yet another soft and lasting shape of grace. So here, at the end of 100 slow, soft truths, the night itself opens like a great velvet window onto the inner sky. Within you, quiet wonders are still unfolding. Tiny lanterns are flickering kindly. Small rivers are running silver. Gentle hands are folding the day into soft origami. Patient nurses are tending inner halls. The seahorse drifts. The lamplighter walks. The librarian whispers, "All is well, all is well, all is well." You are not alone in the kindly inner town of yourself. You are tended on every street. You are loved in every room. You are softly shaped, in this very moment, by all that has been said and all that has been left unspoken. And as you breathe, the great velvet window opens wider, until you slip through it entirely into the warm dark of dreaming, where plasticity continues its luminous, lifelong loving work. And so, dear listener, our long, slow walk through the soft kingdom of neuroplasticity gently draws to a close. We have wandered together through moonlit forests of neurons, through tender glades of synapses, through quiet harbors lit by the soft beam of a pineal lighthouse. We have watched gardeners tend inner orchards, lamplighters trim inner streets, librarians lower the velvet curtains of inner halls. We have seen seahorses cradle the day's small shells, astrocytic stars wash silver rivers through the mind, and patient weavers braid the threads of you into a longer, softer tapestry. What a beautiful inner country you carry, hidden beneath the simple curve of a pillow. A country that listens, a country that learns, a country that lovingly redraws itself again and again in answer to your kindest moments, your slowest breaths, your tenderest choices. Each gentle word you have heard tonight has become a small, warm imprint within you, a soft fingerprint on the warm wax of your inner world. Remember, in the days ahead, that you are never truly fixed. You are always softly forming. The smallest kindness you offer yourself, the slowest breath you take, the gentlest pause you allow, all of these are quiet little builders, gently shaping the inner town of you. There is no need to hurry your becoming. There is no need to force your healing. You are tended, even now, by countless quiet companions within. The night staff of your nervous system is faithfully on duty. The lighthouse still glows. The hands of the night still cradle you. If at any future hour, by day or by deeper night, you find yourself worn or weary, remember that the soft pathways of peace are still here within you, waiting like familiar lanes lit by amber lamps. You may walk them again whenever you wish. They are part of you now. They are written into the slow tapestry. They glow softly behind every weary moment, ready to welcome you home. And now, the long, slow journey of this evening reaches its quietest moment. The lanterns within you have nearly all been dimmed. The patient librarian has placed her last bookmark. The lamplighter has hung his small ladder upon a peg. The seahorse curls softly at the bottom of a calm, dark sea. The astrocytic stars drift in their silver rivers, slow and luminous. And you, dear listener, lie warmly held by the great soft hands of the night, who know your name, your weariness, your gentle, beautiful heart. Allow this hush to settle ever more deeply. Let your shoulders drop one final, gentle measure. Let your jaw release. Let your hands soften like petals at the close of a long summer evening. Feel the weight of the bedding holding you, the warmth of the room cradling you, the slow tide of your breath rocking you like a small, beloved boat upon a quiet inland sea. Tonight, the soft work of plasticity continues without effort from you. The inner gardeners are tending the inner gardens. The inner weavers are weaving the inner tapestry. The inner village has lit its small candles and lowered its many shutters. You may lie far above it all, in the quiet attic of yourself, while the kind work goes on, faithfully, unseen, all night long. If you would like, you may stay with the gentle music that follows now, a soft tone of 432 hertz, drifting through the room like distant wind through a valley of warm grasses. Let it carry you the rest of the way, deeper, softer, slower, into the long blue meadow of dreams. Thank you for spending this slow, sweet evening with deep sleep science. May your nights be tender. May your mornings be gentle. May the soft pathways within you continue to bloom in their own kind time. For all the long days of your living, good night and sleep deeply.